This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
So come let us walk hand in hand, because this is our land. So come my brother, come my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique together. This is our home. We have a duty to enhance it. We have a duty to make it better, not just for this generation, but for the next generation and the next generation. I want to welcome you to the Hub. And again, I want to encourage the folks on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off by saying today I had the opportunity to see firsthand the whole operations and to understand this whole new vendors portal and how it works and how the folks at the Ministry of Finance is working overtime in overdrive to make sure that the people who do business or provide service to government get payment. And in me understanding it, because you introduce a new system and you hearing so many people saying, hey, I did not get pay. Then understanding it now, I realize that the folks at the Ministry of Finance, they have been working overtime to make sure that this works. So that's the first thing I have to say. I have seen it firsthand and I understand it now clearer than before. But the problem is where the vendors supposed to do what they're supposed to do, and the line ministries, some of them at least, not all, but some of them, they are not doing what they're supposed to do to get the stuff to the Ministry of Finance. So that is where the contention lies. So if you are a provider, let's say you provide fish, or you supply fish, or you supply fresh fruits and vegetables, or you supply stuff to the school like rice, flour, sugar, you are considered to be a vendor. You are considered to be a person who are actually selling something to the government of Grenada. And your line ministry might be the Ministry of Education, or maybe the Ministry of Agriculture, or maybe the Ministry of Health, or maybe the Ministry of Tourism or Culture. So you have to deal with the Ministry of Culture, or maybe Infrastructure, or maybe Social Development, or maybe MIT. So you have to deal directly with them, and the accounts department there, I don't know if it's the financial officer, whatever the title, but it's the accounts department in that ministry that's responsible for making sure that you sign up on the new system, the vendors portal. You put in your information in that system. So you register, you get your new 10-digit, I think, tax number, right? And then you set up your email, you put in your phone number, your address, and those particulars. And you take it from there because you sign up. You can monitor now when the invoice that you submit is in and what ministries it is at, what stage it is at, because you upload that. In some instances, when you signing up, they would ask you for, let's say, an empty check or a receipt that you got when you last deposited into that account. So they want your banking information. So you have to upload that, scan and upload that to that system, right? So they can smoothly get it there. So what I understand is that they want a seamless process. And to have a seamless process, once you are doing business with government, maybe you're a security company, maybe you supply stuff to government, maybe you're a contractor building some house, maybe you're somebody who providing some other service, a service provider, you have to register with that vendor portal or vendors portal. It's a new system where it is more transparent, where it is more accountable, where it is more, it's easier to track from the time you submit that invoice for payment to when you get paid. You, the vendor, can actually track it because it's like you opening an account. You're opening some account with government to see if there is an error. They would red flag you, right? So you can correct that within a shorter order than you have to wait for a longer time. And then it's not a paper thing where some vehicle has to pick up the thing from some ministry and bring it to the Ministry of Finance and then they have to go through it. No, it's uploaded on the system. So I understand that. So where the problem lies, because I see the old system, so I was able to see the old system and see the new system. And I am tech savvy. So I realized that the new system is way better than the old system. So the vendor, the person who does business with government, many of them, they are not tech savvy. They are not 100% computer literate. Many of them, they can't navigate as they're supposed to. So it scares them. So what you need to do is to go into that line ministry that you deal with. So go into them, the accounts department. And that ministry will guide you, will assist you to set up, to register on that portal, that vendor's portal. That's that online platform that the government will deal with you when it comes to business, right? So that is important. So if you can't do it, or maybe some family member of yours can't do it, because it's easy to do. Easy. You go on mygov.gd and you go in there under accountant general's department or whatever, accountant general, and then you go registration, vendors registration, and then you click that. They ask you for your email, they ask you for all that kind of information, right? And once you do that, within 5 minutes or so or less, you will get a notification, and if you're having a problem with your old tax number, all you need to do is to call the Accountant General's office. And on that same page that you are doing the registration, the number is there, 440 something, right? Either 2265 or whatever the number, it's there. And you call and request that new TIN number or TN number, a tax number. That is what it's like a social security number. It's a number that they would put in, and everything about your business comes up. So firstly, you need to register a business. So you need to have a business, register. That doesn't take a long time. You register a business. So you're going to get a number, a tax number, a TN number, whatever you want to call it, a TIN, whatever they call it, 20 digits. All right? But if you don't have that, because maybe you have an old one, 8 digits or 6 digits, you just call in and you will get a new one because they already have a new one in place for you. All right? Because they know that you do business with government. And you should have registered even before. You have to register your business. You have to have a name. You have to have an address, a phone number. You have to have the email. That's kind of basic. So what should happen is that you set up that thing. If you can't do it, you go into that same ministry, you go into the accounts department, and you ask them to help you. So you set it up. When you set up that, you can stay at home and monitor when you give your invoice to that accounts department. So there is no question as to where is my invoice? Did you misplace my invoice? Did you throw it in the bin? No, because it's uploaded. You would see it's uploaded on the system. And you'll get a notification saying that it's uploaded or some purchase order was made and this is what the government, what service you're providing to the government, and this date it was submitted, and this date you'll be paid, and that kind of information, right? And if there's any error in your invoice, then it would be, they could call you and you come in and correct it, and so it takes a shorter time. So the line ministry, that particular department, that accounts department, they need to do their work more efficiently, because faster they do that and they send it on to the Ministry of Finance or the accounts department or the accountant general department or office. Then the staff will do what they're supposed to do in the Ministry of Finance and sign off, and then it goes to the bank into your account. A seamless process. But there is a need for more efficiency in the line ministry. And in some instances, there's a need for somebody in that ministry to authorize it, to say, yes, we ordered this stuff from this gentleman. He provided the service, and this is the cost for the service, and we have to pay him. So I'm authorizing it because I know about it. Because yes, we requested it from him. We have a contract with this gentleman to provide this service. And in many instances, you have to have a contract in place. You don't just get up one morning and because you have a lot of tomatoes or you have a lot of cucumbers, you decide, well, I'm going to sell it for the government. No, you have to have a contract in place for that. So a person who has a contract, even if their tomatoes finish, they may come and buy it from you, but they have to pay you. And then the government pays them. And then the government deals with them when it comes to payment. So anybody who does something with government, let's say they provide a service, don't matter what the service is. Maybe you're cleaning 5 people, you have 5 people cleaning somewhere. Or you're doing some maintenance, you have a maintenance gang on the road cutting bush, right? Or maybe you have some drain project doing, or some house building, or a security company providing security service, or you're providing fish for 5 schools, or you're providing pork for 5 schools, or you're providing, let's say, dry goods, rice, flour, sugar, and those things for a school, then you're a vendor. You have to sign up. Let's say you're doing a drive-in service for foreign affairs, or then you have to sign up because it's easily monitored. So so the ministry knows all the people that they're dealing with. They can see all the invoices. They can easily go on the computer and check it, and they get a whole lowdown of the company. And then the paying process becomes easier. So the problem that now exists is because you have a lot of line ministries who are not going into overdrive. So the Ministry of Finance, they're going into overdrive. They're working around the clock to make sure that payment is done and made. But they will get the blame from time to time because that's where the money comes from. They're the ones who authorize it and they're the ones who are paying. But they're not the ones to be blamed, really. More so, it is the line ministries to do what they have to do. There are some line ministries who are doing a fantastic job. A fantastic job. There are some line ministries who are doing a wonderful job. But then again, there are some who are very slow and they have to improve. So the PSs in those ministries, they need to make sure that there is efficiency in those departments, particularly the finance department, to make sure that those things are advanced as quickly as possible. So when the time for the payment to be made, it will be made. So understanding all of this today, because, I had the opportunity, because when I did the program this morning, they say, hey, Kem, I want you to see the system. I want you to understand the system. I want you to appreciate more the system because it's a more efficient system. It's a better system that you can work with, that vendors can work with, that people can work with. And yes, the problem occurred because a lot of people did not go on and sign up because they thought that this vendors portal was for the big companies. That is what they thought. So these small contractors, these small vendors with government, they were thinking, well, it's the big companies that have to sign up, but you too have to do it. And because they did not do it, then there was a serious delay. There was a serious problem. But the people who went in and they did it, the majority of them can tell you that they received their money. The majority of them can say that, yes, I went in 5 days ago, I went in 6 days ago, and I was able, and even if you didn't go in, they did it online because they were called or they called in and they were able to do it online. Sign up, submit their stuff, it was approved, and they become registered on the portal. And they can tell you that they got paid. So the folks who didn't do it, then they have a problem. That's where the problem occurs. You see the point? So I want to encourage the people who do business with government, because you see, sometimes it's good when you see the thing, when you get into it and you understand it. And I'm not saying to you that there isn't people within the system who messing up. I'm not saying that. And I am not saying that there isn't people who are, that there aren't many people within the system who are sabotaging it. I'm not saying that. There are people who are undermining the government and undermining the system. I'm not saying that they're not doing that. There are people who are that nasty. But me seeing the system firsthand, understanding the system firsthand, I can say to you, the problem lies particularly with the line ministries. They have to buck up. They have to improve. They have to become more efficient. And the vendors, the people who do business with government, you have to apply yourself. There is a new system, and it's a more efficient and, updated. It's a seamless process because I saw it today. I'm tech savvy. I understand this thing. All right. What you have to do is to sign up. Right? You can do it from home once you have a computer or a tablet or some device. You could do it from home. If you can't do it yourself, then get somebody who could do it for you. And it's easy. If you're having problems with the tax number that you have or you had long, 6 digits or 8 digits, all you need to do is to call the line, well, not the line, call the Accountant General's office, right? Because the number is there when you start registering. The number is there. You call and you get that new TN number, tax number, right? You get that number. When you get that number, then you go ahead and you set up your email address. You go ahead and you set up your, You do those things, right? You set up all the information, your address, your business address, and also there were a number of consultations and engagements with vendors. Some went, some didn't. But people, there are some vendors who thought that this thing is a big companies. But even if you supply fish, even if you supply provision, or you're a vendor. So I want to encourage you tonight, and I'll do the same thing in going forward, because I think people need more education on the thing. You need more insight on the thing, right? You want to know, and I want to provide the information to you. Because when 30 or 40 contractors call me and say, hey, Cam, I'm not being paid and I'm not being this and that. But then when I got the insight on how the system works and what they have been doing, how the Ministry of Finance have been working overtime to make sure that these people are paid, then I called back a number of them and I said, did you sign up? Did you sign up to become a vendor, because you're a vendor, on the portal, the vendors portal? Some of them said, yes, we just sign up, Some say, well, I didn't know. And some say, well, boy, let me do it now. You see the point? And some say, well, yes, I signed up by waiting. So I am saying here, this is a new system. And I have seen it firsthand. I understand it. It's more efficient. It's more user-friendly, and it's better for government and better for you, the vendor. So you can monitor step by step the whole process. Seamlessly so. So I want to urge you, you might be afraid of technology. You might be afraid of all of this thing that you may be asked to put in. But it's not much stuff. To please do it. Sign up. Right? If you don't have that new tax number, because it's a 10-digit, I think it is now, not 6 or 8 or something like that. What you need to do is just call, and they would provide you with that number, or you go in and they would provide you that number. And if you have any problems, you can go into the same line ministry that you deal with. So let's say you have a security company. I think the line ministry is the Prime Minister's ministry, PMO. I think that's the line ministry. Let's say you're supplying something to Ministry of Agriculture. The line ministry will be the Ministry of Agriculture. So that's the people you have to deal with. The accounts department you have to deal with. When you're submitting your invoice, that is who you have to deal with. And may I say, the Prime Minister's ministry, they have been doing a fantastic job, right? Melissa George and the others in that department, they have been doing a fantastic job with, making sure that they get the invoices on time and submitting it. But I'm saying, folks, that the line ministries, they have to do more to ensure that the stuff is sent, that it's uploaded on the portal and sent to, get to the Ministry of Finance, and that it's processed. So now we're kind of clearer, because we know that there are people in the system who are hell-bent on sabotaging and undermining the system. And they will drag the thing. They will frustrate the process because they want the government to look bad. Because people are not going to blame the public officer who is not doing his work, or the line ministry, or the ministry of this or the ministry of that, and the finance department. They're not going to blame them. They're going to blame the politician. They're going to blame the government point blank. Right? But there is a need for the folks to do more as a person doing business with government. There's a need for you to do more. Sign up. If you need assistance, go into that line ministry, go into the finance department, and let them assist you. Because it doesn't take more than 3 or 4 minutes, or maybe even less, to register, to be registered as a vendor, as a person who does business with government, right? Because that is what they will be using and what you can use to map out, to track, right? to track the thing. You see the point? Track it. When you hand it to that ministry, the finance department, it is uploaded. You can go online and check it out. And then as it moves, you can see that too. So you know that it's no longer with the line ministry. It was moved over to the Ministry of Finance. And it's now at the Accountant General's Department. Or it was paid. That too you will know. It was paid by the bank or sent to the bank or sent to the credit union. So it makes it easier. Easier. Right? I'm saying, folks, you have to understand the thing. So I got the opportunity to see firsthand the thing and to understand it. So there is a need for the line ministries to do more and to become more efficient, because the system that they're introducing is one that breeds efficiency. So it's more transparent, it's more accountable, it's it makes the process seamless and quicker. They're trying to get out of the paper thing, and you have to transfer this to this ministry and transfer that to this ministry, and they're trying to get out of that. So again, I want to say, I spoke this morning because 30, 40 contractors and people reaching out to you. You kind of want to know what's going down. And it kind of reminds you, right? It reminds you of Nazimburg period. And you don't want that to happen, right? But now that I have seen the system, I understand it, I have a great appreciation for it, and I see where the problem lies. Because the people in the Ministry of Finance, they are working overtime. They're in overdrive, trying to make sure that the folks get paid. Because the government doesn't have a problem for money. The government has a lot of damn money. They have a lot of money. They have plenty money because the economy is managed well. They have a lot of money. So there isn't a problem for money. No problem at all for money, for cash. But the problem lies with the people who do business with government, and they're afraid to appreciate technology and use the technology, because you're asked to use it, to sign up and use that vendor's portal, right? Use that. You can track your stuff nicely. But your line ministry, the ministry that you deal with, the finance department there, supposed to become more efficient when they collect your invoice. Because suppose you do some work with them and you have to get $5,000. You will then do an invoice because you have a business. So you have your business name and the date, the amount, the description, what you did, and the amount. You submit that to the finance department in that line ministry. All right. So when you do that, folks, what happens then? You can then go back on your computer or on your device and see that it was uploaded. You see that that particular invoice was uploaded. And when it's approved, they send you a notification saying, hey, it was approved, right? The purchase order and everything came in, and look at the dates, and you get an email. And then you can track it as to where it is at. Let's say it's at the Ministry of Agriculture. And then the next day you see that it moved to the Ministry of Finance. And then the next day you see accounts, the Accountant General's office. And then you see sent to your bank, sent to your credit union. So it makes the process seamless and you have less worries. So you don't have to call and find, well, where the thing at? What stage you're at? You see the point? You understand the point? I am saying it is important that you understand the system and that you embrace it, because it's more efficient. All right? And if all the vendors, the people who provide service to the government can embrace it, and do that, then next month end will be easier. It will be more seamless. It will be smoother, right? You will have no problem because when you submit your invoice, whatever date, like they tell you submit it on the 15th or submit it on the 10th or the 5th, the 18th, whatever date they would tell you, you could monitor the thing and then you will be paid because the government doesn't have a problem with payment. And look, some people may have an issue. Well, why now? Why did they introduce this thing now? And, the election is in the next, year or 2 years. I mean, for the NNP, they believe that the election is in June. For the NNP, they believe the election is in July. So they're gearing up. You see, they launch who candidates and who candidates, and they leave out, well, I didn't see Dwight Horsford in the race. I didn't see Amanda Japal, this loud girlie. I didn't see, some of the others, right? It's as though they just sideline them. And then those who they bring forward, you have to ask yourself a number of questions, right? But I'm saying that they're thinking that the election is soon. So they're gearing up. They started to make melee and confusion, in my belief, and spread misinformation, lies, and all kind of nonsense. That's why, you see. They believe that the election is soon. They think it's in June. They think it's in July. And as a result, I think they launch 9 candidates, as they say. 9 candidates. This thing is like a big joke, if you ask me. So I hope you kind of understand the thing. Understand it a bit, because I understood it. Like earlier today, when I had the opportunity to get a kind of first hand into the thing and see it work and understand that the Ministry of Finance, they are working overtime to make sure that payment is made, because government doesn't have a problem for money. They have a lot of money, plenty money. They have money. But if you, the vendor who does business with government, and you're not signing up, right? If you're not signing up and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then you'll have a problem, because they're only paying folks who will go on that portal, right? Sign up, enter your tax number, enter all your information in there, and your banking information, like a receipt of a last deposit, or maybe a check that you have. Maybe you have a checking account, an empty one, a blank one, empty one, and you upload that so they could see your bank information, so they could send the money to the right bank. You see? So that is what they want. And then when you go and you deliver your invoice to that line ministry, let's say the Ministry of Agriculture or the Ministry of Health, that finance department there would take your invoice, make sure that you do it properly, first and foremost, and they would upload it. They would upload it on that portal, that system that they have. When they upload it, then it moves, meaning that the people in the Ministry of Finance, they will be able to access it and approve it. Because sometimes it's just somebody in the Ministry of Agriculture to sign off and say, yes, we received that, because there is a level of transparency and accountability. We asked for this service to be done. We got that service, and we have to pay this person. So somebody, they have to approve it and then upload it. So once it's approved, maybe stamped and approved, then they upload it and it goes to the Ministry of Finance for payment. So there's an aspect of the portal that says payment, right? You won't see that, but it will be uploaded for payment, approved for payment. So they would see that in the back end of the system. And then it goes, Finance would access it, and then they would see, because it's approved, and then they have to be paid. And payment may come from this line item in the budget, this area, it goes. Because that's the allocation. There's an allocation for this, allocation for that. So that's how it functions. That's how it works. But you can help. You can make the process easier by you, one, signing up. If you do business with government, sign up on the portal. Have your business registered with them. Do that. And then make sure that the accounts department that that line ministry that you are dealing with, agriculture, maybe health, maybe tourism, maybe communication and works, maybe, because if you, for example, you have a transportation and you're picking up people and you're doing that thing for government, you too have to sign up. You too have to sign up as a vendor. So when you submit your invoice, it goes right there. And it's easy for everybody on one platform. So again, I hope you understand the thing well. I will continue to provide that kind of education, that kind of insight. I would continue to do that because I want you to be able to get it done right, and that people get paid, because government doesn't have a problem with money. Government does not have a money issue. They have the money. They've been managing the economy well, and the economy is doing well. So it is important for you to understand that and for you to approach it in that manner. Approach it in that manner because ultimately you want to be paid. All right? You want to be paid. You want to be able to get your cash. You want to be able to get your money. And government doesn't have a problem with cash. They have money and they are willing to pay. But you have to help. You have to help. Folks, I thought I should speak about this in the beginning of the program for tonight. But it is a pledge program tonight. I should put a little paper close to me, right? So it is a pledge program tonight because we need to pay the bills, all right? We need to pay the bills to keep the program going. So it is a pledge program tonight. So for the next 20 minutes, we have to do the pledge. All right? Some people don't like to hear that, but that's how we pay the bills. That's how we meet the commitment, because this program is paid for by people just like you. What I normally do, I would send the usual people a message and say, hey, we have the pledge again this month. Will you pledge as usual? Some will say yes. Some will say no. Some will say, well, skip me this month. I will fall in place next month. So we have been able to reach out to these folks, and some committed, some didn't. So we are still in need of $4,100. From the time I mentioned that we were in need of 4,008 or 4,009, a number of people message me and say, hey, Kim, I'm going to give you $50. I'm going to give you $100. Today I called a friend who normally give, and he said, yes, you'll come in for the $100. You know, that kind of thing. A friend came from overseas to drop some stuff for my kids, and they gave 140 US. So I factor that in, That's how I do it, because I believe in honesty, because that gets you very far. So it brought that thing down to where we are at. So we still need $4,100. That's what we need to complete the pledge, to make sure that the bills are paid for this month, right? When I say this month, I mean January month end bill for January, the end of January, to pay the bills, to meet the commitments, right? To pay the $500 in Grande Tang for the internet, to pay the $740 for electricity in Grande Tang, to pay the $1,000 for maintenance and housing of the equipment. That's just in Grande Tang. And then when you look at this operation here, the bills that must be paid to keep things going again. So it requires some cash. So we're still in need of $4,100. So if you are there and you want to make a pledge, if you could afford to make a pledge, make that pledge. If you can't, don't make the pledge. Because when you make the pledge, I will record it and I will follow up with you. You can WhatsApp me on all the numbers that you know you can. You can WhatsApp me on 415-4817. So that's one number you can reach me on. That's my personal number, 415-4817, right? 415-4817. 415-4817. If you're overseas, you have to add 1 473, then 415-4817. You can also send me a message on 403-1019. But if you're overseas, you have to add the code again, or the number that's scrolling on the program, 538-0933. So you can WhatsApp me, you can call me, you understand the point? That's important. Very important. It is important that you give to the program. Yeah? Yeah. So there are people who come on the program and, they come to hear what's going down. There are folks who are loyal, right? Who want to make sure that the program continues. And I'm quite cognizant of that fact. So the first person who pledged, it's a usual giver. It's a good friend, right? She's originally from PT Martinique. So she pledged 100 US, right? And folks, you can also Zelle. So if you're in the United States and you want to Zelle, you can. I can provide you with the Zelle number when you WhatsApp me. I'm not going to give you the Zelle number before, right? So you have to provide me with the Zelle number. And you have to WhatsApp me, and then I will provide you with the Zelle number, and I will provide you with that so you can Zelle. All right? So a good friend say, hey, good night. Thank you very much for that information about the new pay system. Big up your whole self. Blessings. Yes, so I explained that there earlier. So far, I've received $250 in pledges. $260 because 100 US, $260. All right, so we can kind of work it at $260. So let me see here. Hey, Kem, my husband is coming on tomorrow. I will ask him to give you 100 for me, please. I will give him your number. So that good friend again, it's 100 US again, because that good friend is overseas. My good partiza, my good family from Marigot. All right, stay sweet. So my good friend given 100 US. All right, so that's 100 US. So that's $540 so far. $540 pledged so far. So that's two persons, and both are from the United States. Another good friend is saying to me, hey, Kem, I will drop 50 tomorrow, please God, willing, by the bar, right? So that good friend is a usual giver. He knows, the person knows where to drop it off. So that good friend is given $50, 50 EC. All right. So thank you very much there. All right. So that's 50 EC. All right. So again, hey, Kem, my husband go pledge for us. We got you covered. Right. So whoever pledged there, right? Nice. So that's another good friend there. So we have 3 people who pledged so far. 3 people. The first one pledged 100 US. And let me just say thanks. All right. Thanks. All right. So that person pledged 100 US. And the other person, a good 100 US. What happened there? Let me make sure that we are streaming. Are you hearing me? Let me make sure that we are streaming here. The audio is on, right? Something happened there a while ago. All right. So we have that. So 3 people. 3 people pledged so far. 3 people pledged so far. Let me look at the other phone and see if there's another person who pledged. So it's a pledge program, and if we do not reach the amount tonight, we will have to do it tomorrow morning. We have to continue tomorrow morning because we have to cross that bridge. We must cross that bridge so we can continue the program. All right? We have to cross that bridge to be able to continue the program. So we have $590 pledged, and we needed 4,100, right? So right now we need, let me tell you here, so 4,001 minus 590, right? So we need 3,510, 3,510. That's what we need so far. So we're going to continue the pledge program tonight, and if we don't get what we want, what we need, not just want, then we would continue tomorrow. So the folks on the live, if you want to pledge, because I see someone pledging here, if you want to pledge, send me a WhatsApp message. All right? My WhatsApp numbers 1473. That's our area, that's our code. And then you add 415-4817, right? 415-4817. You add that, and then you can WhatsApp me or you can call me. You can call me on that number or the number that's scrolling, that's under the screen, under the live. You can call me or WhatsApp me on that number. You can do that. So it's a pledge program tonight. It is a pledge program. We got 3 people pledging so far because we were in need of $4,100. Now we need $3,510. If you want to Zelle, you can. I will provide you with the Zelle information once you WhatsApp me, once you message me. Okay? So again, it's a good opportunity for you to Zelle, all right? To Zelle. Or for you to call or WhatsApp. It is a pledge program. And if we don't get the pledge that's required tonight, I will have to do it tomorrow morning. And if people between tonight and tomorrow morning pledge, then I will factor that in. So I would say to you, right, hey, remind me tomorrow, please God. I'm so busy lately. Yes. Well, you're okay because you're a part of the pledge, the usual giver. So that's a good friend who's a part of the usual giver who said yes to me already. So she's factored in. She normally gives 100 US towards the program. So she's factored into the actual amount before. So thank you very much there, my dear. Thank you very much indeed. So again, it is a pledge program. It's a good opportunity for you to give to the program to keep it going. If you can't, don't give. Don't make that pledge if you cannot pledge, because I would factor that in, and then when I follow up, then it becomes an issue. It becomes a problem. Because if you don't have it, then it's a problem for me, because we have to pay the bills. All right? And the reason why I do this is because if you, right, so yes, so it's a usual 100 US that she gives. Thank you. So the reason why I do this is because if you have the people paying for the program remains independent of lobbyists, because whoever pays the piper calls the tune. That's how it goes. If you pays the piper, you dictate what the content of the program will be. So there are companies who say, Kem Jones, I want to advertise, I want you to promote this, I want to run ads on your program. I said, no, I don't want any ads. Because if I do that, then when I say certain things on this program, they call and say, you can't say it. Kem Jones, I don't want you to say it on the program. And I can't tell them no, because they're the ones who pays the piper. You understand the point? But this program is different, separate and apart. So again, saying that it is a pledge program tonight, and if we do not meet the required amount, so we're still in need of $3,510. We're still in need of that to pay the bills, to meet the commitments, to keep the program going. Still need that. And if you can give, give. If you cannot give, don't give. All right? So a good friend here saying, hey, Kem, right? And that's a person who gave before, right? So that person says, hey, Kem, I want to pledge a 100 US. Send me the Zelle information. All right? So I would send that person the Zelle information now, so they can actually Zelle to this number. All right? So I will send the person the Zelle number now. A good friend who gave before. So, right. So Zelle to, all right. So I'll send them the Zelle number at this point. Nice. So when they Zelle, I will get it instantly. All right. So I got that there. So that's another 260. Another good friend here. So, all right. Pledging 100. And that's a usual giver again. Pledging 100 EC. My good friend there. A very nice lady indeed. All right. I hope everything is good in the South all right, down south. So she pledged 100 easy. All right, so let me just tell her thanks. Let me tell her thank you here. Thanks. All right. Very good, friend. There. Good. So far, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people pledging, 5 people pledging to the continuation of the program for tonight. All right. A good friend sent me a message here. Hey, Kim, right. So that's the person on the live. Right. Right. I don't know if she wants to sell it. Do you wish to sell? Right. Good. So if she wishes to Zelle, then I would send her the Zelle information also. All right. I will send her the Zelle information if she wishes to Zelle. The 20 US. Right. Nice. That's US, yes. All right. So she wants the Zelle. So nice. So I send that to Zelle too. All right. I hope I have that on this phone. As the other phone. Let me see if I have it here. All right. So let me get it here for her. All right. Yes, I have it here. So that's 20 US. So let me just give her the Zelle number here on this. She actually communicated with me via the all right, let me see. Right, good. Nice. So we have it here. So that's 20 US. Let me make sure I have that locked down. All right, good. So nice. So that's 20 US. Nice. So that's, let's say, $50. All right. Another friend said, hey, good night, Kim. That's how are you doing? That's my Facebook name. But my name is all right. Good, good, good. I will tell you, right? Send me the Zelle, right? So 100 US. So that person here is 100 US, right? So that's a good friend again. Very good friend there. A usual giver. Right. And thank you very much, my dear. The last time for going all the way out, extra, to make sure that things are okay, my dear. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you. So let me send her the Zelle information right here, so she can Zelle it to that number. All right. Nice. All right. Thanks. Good. So I got that here. So another 100 US there. Another friend saying, hey Kim, this is all right. A friend sent, all right, good. So that's okay. Nice. All right, so that's a 50 US here again. Send on to okay. All right, so that person sent it. I don't know if they sent it tonight or when you did. All right, so that person saying that they sent it. So maybe they sent it before. 50 US. So where we are at now, so another friend saying, hey Kim. All right, so I have that friend already. That friend here, name is already down. All right. So that person is a usual giver. All right, so that person sent it a few minutes ago. All right, so I'll include that. So I'll include that. So that's 50 US. All right, nice. So we have that here as 50 US. Okay, nice. All right. All right. That person is a usual person. Thanks. Right. So far, we have had let me see, 540, 540, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1390, 1390. So we got 1390 so far. We got 1390 in total, 1390. So 1390, 1390 minus some 4, 1,100. So we need $2,710. Right? So we need $2,710 to complete the pledge. So we need $2,710 to complete the pledge. That is what we need to complete the pledge. So it's 9 o'clock now, right? It's 9 o'clock now. So if it seems as though we would not be able to complete the pledge because I actually started halfway through the program. But if you're there, and maybe you might listen to the program after I upload it, and you want to pledge, you can. So when you make that pledge, I will add it to the amount and then subtract it from the total amount that we need. So tomorrow morning, when we continue the pledge program, tomorrow morning, what I will do, I will say to the listeners and viewers, well, last night we reached at, we were in need last night, meaning like tonight, of $2,710. But 2 people or 3 people made a pledge overnight, and I factor that in. So we are now in need of X or Y. Or if nobody does so overnight, then we just start from where we left off. All right. So I want to wish you all the best. I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program tonight. So I see somebody here say, hey, good night. Good night, Kem. I'm an avid listener. Really appreciate your hard work. My pledge is 400 EC. I want to believe it's 400 EC. All right. So let me just ask. All right. Thanks. All right. And let me just ask, is 400 EC? 400 EC. All right, let me just ask, where is 400 EC? So that person here pledging 400 EC, and I recognize the name. I feel it's 400 EC because it's right, EC. Good. Because it's a local number. All right. So thank you very much there. Thank you very much there for that. So we are even less now. We're in need of $2,310 because we just got $400 pledged. So we are in need of now $2,310. So again, if I had cut off the program, like end it, that $400 would have been factored in. So when I come on tomorrow morning, then I would have said, well, look, right, so the pledge is to keep the program going every month. So Marcus Forrester is asking, well, what the pledge is for? The pledge is to keep the program going because I do not do ads. There are companies who want to do ads on the program, and I said no, because whoever pays the piper calls the tune. Then I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying on this program freely, because they would say, hey, I don't want you to say this, I don't want you to say that. So we have been doing this program for almost 11 years, going on to 12 years. And we depend on the viewers and the listeners to make that pledge, to keep it going, to pay the bills, right? To keep it going. To do this program, it costs money. Almost, in most cases, sometimes $8,000, $9,000. And I do not collect a salary from it. I do not get a salary at the end of the month. No, I have not been paying NIS for me because I don't get a salary. When the studio that I'm working on is completed, then it's a different ball game. It's a radio station that will be set up. I will be able to do a whole pile of things. Well, different. But for now, it's a sacrifice. All right? So if you want to Zelle, you can. You can Zelle the money. I can provide you with the Zelle information. My phone number, again, let me just give you my phone number. The phone number is 1-473-415-4817. That's my personal number, 415-4817. So 1473. So that's the code. 1473. And then my number, 415-4817. Or you can call me on the other number, or you can WhatsApp me on the other number. And I can provide you with the Zelle information, or I can, you can WhatsApp me and say, hey, Kem, I'm going to pledge this or pledge that. And we follow up from there. 415-403-1019. 1473. 1473, that's the code. 403-1019. All right. So again, Marcos, if you can, so you want the Zelle number, but I won't send you the Zelle number on the platform. I won't send you the Zelle number there. So what I want you to do for me is send me a message. So WhatsApp me, Marcos. So let me just reply to Marcos here. All right. So WhatsApp me on this number 1473 41 41 54817. All right. WhatsApp me on that number. Right. So Marcos, you can WhatsApp me. That's my personal number. 1473 415 4817. And when you WhatsApp me on that number, Marcos, I will send you the Zelle number. All right. You can do that. WhatsApp me on that number. And I will send you the Zelle number, Marcos. So thank you very much. There. So two persons, while I was speaking, two persons pledge 100 US. So let me see here. Right? No, I will send you 100 went through for tomorrow. Good night. All right. Well, that's the same person. That's the same person here. Hey, Kim. That's the same person. So that's one person. One person who sent me that here. Hey, Kim. I said, Zelle information. Right? So that's that person here. That's 100 US. All right. So that person was just reminding me that they will do it tomorrow. All right. So that person was just reminding me that they will do it tomorrow. That person here just reminded me that they will do it tomorrow. That's important. So this person here, right? And this person here, right? So that's good. I send and it went through. Oh no, the person saying that they did it. So that's the person who pledged earlier. So it's just 100 US pledged, right? From that person here. Good. So now we are down to 2,000 60. So 2,000, 2,050. Yes. Yes. So we need $2,050. That is what we need. $2,050. No. What reply? Marcos, no. No. So no. So Marcos, the number is 1473 4154817. So that's the correct number, Marcos. All right. So, all right, good. Nice. So friends in the sent the Zelle also. So thanks. So we need $2,050. That's all we need. $2,050. Good. All right. I went through out time different. That's why you get it. All right. It's already all right. Thanks. Or where you're located. So that's somebody. That's a different person. Saying that they're in a different time zone. So that's why. So again, just saying the total pledge. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 persons or 10 people who pledged tonight so far. 10 people who pledged tonight so far. Let me check the other numbers, the other 4 numbers. All right, so that's nothing changed there. All right, let me check the other one. Nothing changed here. So people are communicating with me to me on the personal number. So far, the pledge that we have had so far, because we needed $4,100. $4,100. That's what we needed. So right now, with the 10 people who pledged, we now need $2,050. So we have to continue that pledge program tomorrow morning. But if anyone between, all right, so good friend, they say, hey, good night. All right, so this is a usual giver. Good night, Kim. So it's a usual person who gives. She's sending me a message now. So she normally gives, right? So that's a usual person again who is giving. So let me see how much she's pledging. So maybe we can take the total even further down tonight. All right. We can take the amount further down tonight. So let me see. So, right. So, Akem, I will sell you $100. So that person normally gives. All right. So, let me just put that down. So 100 US. All right. So that's 100 US. And she is a normal giver of the program. So thank you very much there. That's 260. So I'm taking out 260 from this. So that would be what? 18. 18 is 2. So I'll be 17. 7. Let me make sure my math is right. So 2050 minus that. So that's 1790. So 1790. So we need now, with that pledge there, we need $1,790. So that is what we need. 1,790 EC. So if you overseas, I can just give you the Zelle number, like the people who are messaging me. I provided them with the Zelle number and the Zelle. Easy. All right. So what we need now is $1,790. And it's a pledge to keep the program going, to pay the bills and keep the program going. All right. Because remember, we are on radio and we have to pay to keep that going in Granditang, that to maintain that. And we are on social media, and I'm operating in my own studio here at home studio, and it requires money to keep things going, to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to keep things going here, while I do not collect a salary at the end of the month. All right. So again, all we need right now is $1,790. That's all we need. But if you cannot pledge, don't pledge. Because whatever you pledge, I normally factor it in. And when I reach the amount, I stop. So once you pledge, I look forward to it to make the thing work. So I want to encourage you, if you have not yet pledged and you could pledge, make a pledge to keep things going. All right, to meet the commitments at the end of the day. So I would wrap up the program now. And if anybody pledge overnight, because some people go back and they listen to the program after. If anybody pledge overnight, I will factor that in. So when I come tomorrow morning, God's willing, I will say, hey, overnight, 2 persons pledge or 3 persons people pledged. And this is the amount. And this is what we need. So I want to thank those who pledge. I want to thank the listeners, the viewers. Thank you very much. I want to wish you all the best for the entire night. Right? I want to wish you all the best for the entire night. Take good care. So that person who just a while ago made that pledge, saying to me, hey, Kem, it's done. So they completed that Zelle. All right? So once you message me, I will provide you with the Zelle number. But I don't want to provide the Zelle number on the stream, on the page. I don't think it's proper. Before, I didn't know better. So I was putting it up. But now I decided not to do so. Once you WhatsApp me, if you WhatsApp me, once you message me on WhatsApp, and you know my numbers, 1473-415-4817. That's my personal cell number. You can add that to your WhatsApp. Kem Jones, 1473-415-4817. Personal number. But the program number is what's scrolling under the live feed as a program number, as this phone. All right? So that's this phone. You can WhatsApp me on this number and make that pledge. Or I have another number, 1473-403-1019. You can WhatsApp me there. You can message me there. You can call me there. You can make the pledge there. If you're in the United States, you can Zelle. So I can provide you when you WhatsApp me with the Zelle number. If you want to send it via MoneyGram or Western Union, I can provide you the name of the person to send it on. I can do that. MoneyGram, Western Union, I can provide you with that. So again, just saying to you, it's a pledge program. It's a good opportunity for you to give to keep the program going. All we need is $1,790. So a good friend here, Ona, she's saying that it's done. All right, so that's another person who pledged before. So a good friend said, hey, Kem, I send you 100 can through a Canadian chapter personal coming, right? So through a Canadian chapter. All right, hey Kim, I send you 100 Canadian. All right, so all right, thanks, appreciate, right? But so all right, how will you send it? All right, so that's a friend here saying that you'll send 100 Canadian. Just asking how will he send it? If via Canada is different. You'd have to send it via MoneyGram or Western Union, or maybe someone coming down. So just want to find out that first. All right. But I would add it in once that happens. I would add it in once that happens. There. Yes, my brother. How you doing? I good, man. So you send it via MoneyGram or Western Union, or oh, you have a friend. Oh, Wednesday. Okay, beautiful. Oh, she's coming down. All right, blessings. No problem. Nice. Yeah, no problem. Oh, no, I know. Yeah. Blessings flow. All right, great. Nice. Right. So I understand now. So that's 100 Canadian. All right. 100 Canadian. That's 99 is 8, right? So 180. All right. So that's 180. So that friend is saying, hey, there's a good friend coming down from Canada from the chapter, and he will give that person the 100 Canadian for me. So we are now in need of $1,610. All right. So that's where we are at. $1,610. That is what we need to cover the bills for the month end gone there, to pay the bills, to keep things going. All right. So a good friend here again, he's saying, hey, good night. All right. So let me just, yeah, I think that's a usual friend. It's a usual friend of the program. A usual friend of the program. All right. This friend here is a usual friend of the program. Just wanted to find out if it's Canadian or US. All right, I think it's Canadian. All right, Canadian, I think. All right. So I think it's Canadian. Yes, Canadian. So 100 Canadian. All right. All right. Hello? Yes, me dear. Yes, so it's 100 Canadian. Okay. Plenty love. Okay. Our blessings. Nice. Right. So that's a good friend. And that's a usual friend of the program who normally gives. Right. So that's 100 Canadian. So that's 180. So we are in need now of, let me see. All right. Let me see. So 180. All right. 180 now from that. So we are in need of $1,430. So we are in need now of $1,430. That's all we need to complete the pledge for tonight. All right. So all we need now is $1,480. That's all we need to complete the pledge for tonight. All right. You can Zelle if you're overseas. You can Zelle, let's say you're in the United States. I can provide you with the Zelle number. Easy like 1, 2, 3. If you're here in Grenada, you call me, could tell you where to leave it or whether I'm going to link up with you to pick it up. All right. That's not hard. That's not hard to do. If you're here in Grenada. If you're overseas and you want to MoneyGram or Western Union, I can provide you the number, the name, all the information you require to do so. But folks, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program tonight. I want to wish you all the best. We will continue with the pledge program tomorrow morning. But if tonight I get any pledge tonight, I would add it to the amount. So when I come tomorrow morning, God's willing, I will tell you, well, look, I posted a pledge last night, and this is the amount they pledge, because people go back and listen to the program. So they may go back between now and in the morning. And if they do, then I will provide you with that update. That's how I do it.